Hello, Internet! I'm Hamster Bomb, and you are watching whatever my reaction is about to be for this new Pokemon Sun and Moon stuff that we just got today, which is the 10th. And we got a bunch of new stuff, as in like a couple trailers, and they revealed the starters and the legendaries. And I have actually Kim right now over Skype, and she's going to help us talk about reactions and stuff that we have to the new Pokemon Sun and Moon stuff. Kim, say hi.
Hello, Internet!
That was my line. Alright, now, so I kind of wanted to divide this right away into the good, the bad, and the ugly, because I really want to jump to the bad and the ugly because that stands out and I complain a lot, but there is definitely a lot of good, really cool stuff that was in the trailer, right, Kim?
Yes, there was.
Yes, okay. Couple things that I saw right away that I thought were really cool. I'm actually going to play it on mute in the background just so I can like kind of watch this again as we're talking about it. And I know I can't actually show it because Pokemon will get pissed off if I start showing any of their stuff on my own videos, which is nice. But anyway, I think it's really cool that we're finally like proportionate to our bodies now. Like they moved into the 3D direction to where people actually look like people. And it looks like the environment looks really cool, this Alola region. I think it's kind of interesting. It looks like they based the X and Y region off of France. This time it looks like it's based off of Hawaii. At least that's the vibe I'm getting based on the kind of environments and symbols that you see in the backgrounds, and the map kind of just looks like Hawaii. There's a large volcano area and lots of little islands and stuff. That's what I got from it. Kim, what were you thinking about the environment?
Yeah, I was thinking dead on they must have done it from Hawaii. I mean, with all the different palm trees you got in the background and all the foliage and everything, it kind of matches it.
It's not just that. If you look in the backgrounds, there's also like statues, not like Easter Island statues, but there's like tiki kind of style things all over. Yeah, there's palm trees and stuff like that all over the place. There's symbols on different environments and things like that. But anyway, that was just an interesting thing that I'm kind of glad that they're moving in that direction. I kind of like it. Aside from that, I think they finally moved us into the correct proportions. Maybe because, okay, no, that has to be in gameplay because they show points of you actually running around in-game like that. And it kind of bothered me that we always went into this weird versions of different proportions, as in like our head was half of our body when we were running around in X and Y, and then when you go into a battle, you look like you do in Sun and Moon. Mm-hmm. And I always found that to be really weird, and I'm glad that they finally changed it. So, now, is there anything else that you want to point out from the good? Because I'm honestly struggling.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, I'm really excited that they're moving in that direction. I couldn't really tell from the gameplay in the trailer how you run into Pokemon anymore. I don't know if it's still running through the grass.
I didn't see any of that, actually. Now that you mention it, I was hoping that we'd see something like that. I'm assuming it's going to be running in the grass just the same, like an encounter appears. But from what I saw, I didn't see anything, actually, because it didn't actually appear. But a lot of what we saw in the trailer was actually with the starters. A little bit of running around in gameplay. There was a bit where you're going through a city, and it looked pretty cool. And I don't know. I don't know if you can actually like free move your camera around, and it's actually like exploring. That'd be pretty interesting.
Mm-hmm.
But
what I was about to ask was if we can do, change our camera angles when we're walking through cities, and
it's like adding another dimension to the game because even though X and Y used a lot of 3D elements, it still clung to like the grid and everything that had been traditional in Pokemon when it was two-dimensional, and it like didn't want to let go. And I understand that just to keep the game feeling the same, but I think X and Y is a good in-between point for us to jump from that into something new, and I think everyone is ready for that. But that's just what I feel from watching the trailer. I am totally ready for a brand new Pokemon game that just ignores what the other ones were like in terms of original gameplay, not in terms of design, because I think the design is more important than gameplay sometimes when it's for trying to keep original series alive. But yeah, I think so. I mean, if you shockingly change the design of something, it's gonna feel like it's not the same game at all, as opposed to adding new implementations to how you can play it. That's what I was trying to say. Anyway, Kim, do you have anything else to say in terms of the good?
no, that's pretty much it. Let's get to the rest of the 90
That's pretty much it. There is the bad, and then there is the ugly. I don't know how to even differentiate between the two, because there's a lot of stuff in this trailer that is a horrible combination of bad and ugly.
Yep.
Let's start with the starters. The first thing I want to say, and this is still on the good side, I like the owl. I like Rowlet. His name's Rowlet. He has a new move, actually, called Leafage. I'm not kidding, it's called Leafage, as in cleavage with leaves, which I'm also not kidding, he totally has. He has Leafage as in leaf cleavage. Let me show you. Look at his leaf cleavage. It's a little bright, but you can totally see he has leaf cleavage. I guess he attacks with his leaf cleavage.
Oh no, that means he's flashing everybody?
Yeah, he could. He probably learns Flash at one point. I do like his design, though. How he can, like, turn his head around and look at you as you're, like, telling him commands and stuff.
So part koala, I think. I think he looks like a koala and an owl combined.
I don't know where you got that, but okay.
Looks like a koala.
But anyway, like, the leaf feather thing, I don't know, I thought it was kind of creative. I mean, a grass flying, already. I already kind of like that, and I never really get excited about grass starters. So I was like, okay, I can go with that. That's pretty cool. Thought there was something else about the owl that we wanted to talk about.
No, pretty much just the leafage cleavage part.
Leafage cleavage, and I actually kind of like it. Now, I don't think there's anything else good I can say about this game anymore. The rest of this is all going to be me complaining, because it's kind of disappointing. The fire and the water starters are... I think the fire is a lot better than the water starter.
I think they're both equally bad.
Okay, I was telling Kim earlier, I think on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being atrociously terrible, and 10 being amazing, and I'm trying to rate how much I like these things. I think the water starter is a 1. I hate it. It might be my new most hated Pokemon ever. Its design is horrible. It doesn't look like a Pokemon. It looks like some really stupid character out of, like, some Disney Junior show. It doesn't fit Pokemon. It looks so below everything Pokemon has ever done. And it doesn't match the series. It looks so wrong. I can't stand it. Its name is, Popplio? I think Popplio is how you're supposed to say his name?
Yeah, I believe it's Popplio, which worries me. It might become a,
He's probably gonna get a second type.
sea lion.
Oh, a sea lion? Whatever.
Like Walrein.
Like Walrein? Whatever. Whatever. I mean, as long as it changes from this, it could still get really cool. I mean, like, I remember Froakie. I remember when Froakie came out, and I was like, that thing...
I love Froakie.
Right when it came out, I remember looking at it like, I don't know if I like that. And then Frogadier came out, and I was like, okay, the direction is kind of cool. And then we found out about Greninja. And I was like, oh, I get it now. That's kind of cool. So, everything I'm saying could easily go in different directions. Like, Rowlet might have a really, really stupid second and third stage and make me totally change my mind.
See, I was totally different when Froakie came out. I loved Froakie. Wasn't so keen on Greninja.
See, that just happens. I was really excited about Fennekin, and I picked Fennekin, and I enjoyed the entire line. And I remember really not liking Chespin. And the thing is, I think Chespin's evolutions only got worse and worse. So, that is still an option. Of the line, I like Chespin the most. I don't like his whole line. It's really bad. I think it's really bad. But... oh, that seal. That stupid seal. Like, I look at it, and it physically makes me feel pain. I am angry. Okay, in comparison to my least favorite Pokemon ever, which is Floatzel, mainly because Floatzel, I think, is such a terrible design for a Pokemon. Its cry is so freaking annoying, I can't stand it. I want to, like... oh, I want to stab it in the face. I hate it so much. I can't explain to you how much I hate Floatzel. I already kind of hate this thing just as much, but from what I understand from the trailer, you can kind of hear their cry, and it didn't really sound super annoying. Yeah, I am taking that into account. Its design, though, is horrible. I hate it. It's like some stupid clown seal. I just hate it. I feel really bad about that because I usually really like water starters, but I hate this one. I just hate this one. Maybe I have no reason why. Yeah, it's. I was thinking about that earlier. It's kind of like an Oshawott, but it's worse. Like Oshawott, I mean, in the show, yeah, he's kind of brought out to be like a really stupid, clowny looking, over the top kind of character. But this is like illustrated to already do that intentionally. It looks like a dog seal clown thing.
I know.
It's just terrible. Did Ken Sugimori seriously do these new Pokemon?
I think you need to move on to Litten.
I might have to move on to Litten. I can't. I hate that seal. I want to hear what you guys think about the rest of these designs down in the comments below, because I am probably I just don't like them. I want to hear what you guys think, though, because I'm sure there's a lot of people who really like Popplio, whatever. Litten, though, on my scale, I think Litten is more like a 3. I'm disappointed by it. I'm not, like, pissed off how much I hate it like I am Popplio, but I am disappointed at how uncreative it seems. It's just a cat. Kim, you were the one who was raving mad when you saw that thing. So I think I want to hear more from you.
I really don't like it. It reminds me of so many other anime cats out there. And there's nothing interesting. Like you said, it's just a cat.
It's just a cat. And I looked at it and immediately I was like, Trigon? Because the eyes look the same. It's black. It has a really big head and a small body. It looks like the Trigon cat to me. I'm sure that there's a bunch of other anime cats. Kim has seen way more anime than me, so she knows all this, but...
Like, it kind of reminded me of Spindle's son from Card Captors. He was the first one that came to my mind when I saw it. But I think that was just because of the eyes.
I'm thinking by looking at it that more than likely it's going to evolve into a Fire Dark, which would be kind of cool, but the thing is Houndoom and Mega Houndoom, so... And already using them, they're only just okay. You ever seen anybody use Mega Houndoom? Probably not. There's a lot of better options out there for that, and the type, they just don't really go well together. I mean, to be fair, Grass Flying is probably setting you up to a lot of failure, though I was talking with Kim earlier, I think that's kind of cool, though. I mean, like, doesn't Grass resist the electricity, so it would take it normally, and I don't know, I mean, being able to fly to a Grass, that might be really helpful. That's kind of interesting.
Wouldn't it have a ×4 ice weakness?
Yeah, it would. But it doesn't... It would take Bug normally, too. That's another one. But it doesn't need to be new for it to be interesting, though. I don't want to say that just because Litten might be Fire Dark that it's uninteresting. I just think that there's just something about it that...
It's got a boring design. There's nothing there. It's just a cat they put stripes on.
I remembered before, when I was coming up with possibilities in my head of new kinds of types they could come up with, I came up with another trio of types that would work, and one is super effective against the other in a triangular fashion, and Flying was in there somehow. I don't remember how it worked, but there was another trifecta that you could do, and it was before X and Y did the Fighting, Psychic, and Dark one. There is another one with that, but I know there's one you can do with Flying. If you guys can think of it, let me know that in the comments, because the Litten and Popplio might actually evolve into part that, so they could pull the same thing, so that the starters are basically made to fight the other ones. So, in terms of that, I mean, Litten's just boring. I think that's really all there is to say about Litten's design. It's just boring. Kim?
Yeah, it's boring.
It's just boring.
It's terrible. I hate it.
Yeah. So, honestly, I would say it's more like a 3 for me. I'm just like, eh. Rowlet, the more I look at it, I kind of enjoy it. I would put that as more like, somewhere between a 5 to a 7. 5 is in like, oh, okay. But the more it's going to grow on me, like, even talking about it this long, it's kind of, that's why I said up to 7, because I'm like, I'm kind of cool with it. We are still looking at just the first stages, too. We don't know anything else about where they're going with this. So, they might be really interesting, it might be really cool. Plus, they also, and this is what I find kind of troubling about the other two, I feel like they should have been styling these Pokemon to better fit the region that they just built. This is mainly looking like a Hawaii kind of setting. Wouldn't you try and make your Pokemon fit that setting better? The cat, I wouldn't you wouldn't be any cats there, right? I wouldn't think so.
I don't think cats are a very popular pet there.
You would certainly never see sea lions or seals or whatever the heck he is, Popplio. You would never see them there, unless this is like partially Antarctic or something like that. Which I doubt. It looks tropical. The whole thing's tropical. So, more problems with him, but I don't want to keep complaining about Popplio this entire video. Moving on to what I think is the worst part, unfortunately, is so disappointing. I don't know. Worse than Popplio? I don't know. No, not worse than Pop. It's really bad, but the Legendaries. I genuinely am so disappointed in the Legendaries. I saw them and I was like, oh. Like, this was my face. I had to look back at them and go, and to do it again for you properly. Oh. God, I loaded Cerebi up trying to find something else for Kim. We actually just found a shiny Pokemon earlier. And I was going to look up information on it, and I was like, oh, God, that's horrible. It is so terrible. Oh, my God. The lion thing on Sun looks just like some Digimon. Actually, I'm going to turn this back again because Kim was giving me some links of some Digimon that it looks exactly like. This is some Digimon, I don't remember his name, but he's got like these random gold pointy things and this mane of this dude and what is it, Saber Leomon. Like, they look...
a Dorulumon and a Saber Leomon.
Oh, now this is way too big. They look the same! They look freaking the same! I mean, like... it's not just the fact that they look the same, it looks uncreative, and the biggest problem I have, once again, is it looks like it doesn't fit Pokemon. My Focus is, like, refusing to come back and... Hey, Focus, do you want to see me? Please? Focus. Focus. Alright, guys, I guess I'm going to be this close to you now. There we go, I had to back it up. But it doesn't look like a Pokemon at all to me. And I think that is my biggest problem with this thing. I look at it, and it screams Digimon. And there's nothing wrong with Digimon. But Digimon is not Pokemon. And I look at this, and I'm like, that doesn't fit. None of that fits. It looks too detailed. That's partially it, but it looks like it's, like... I don't know. Something about it just does not fit Pokemon to me. Like, there's always Legendaries that I didn't like. Like, some of the 4th gen ones I just didn't really care for. But they all look like Pokemon. And that, I think, is really important. Like I was saying before, the design, I think, comes before the gameplay. The design must match. And that thing does not look like a Pokemon to me. So, Kim, you were talking about the lion thing?
I personally like the lion a little bit more than the other one. But
the moon? Let's just say moon. Moon and sun.
Yeah, so I like the sun a little bit more than the moon, and that might be because, you know, I've played the Digimon games, and I enjoy the Digimon games, but I also agree it doesn't look like a Pokemon, and that does upset me.
So, I mean, I'm indifferent to Digimon. So, I am purely being affected by the fact that I don't think it matches at all. Kim likes Digimon, and because of that, she kind of enjoyed the lion thing. That should not be a legitimate reason. Kim, I'm not arguing with you why you shouldn't like it, but I'm saying for other people who see that and kind of feel the same thing, that is not a legitimate excuse to why you should like a new design. It's like if, all of a sudden, I don't know, like, a new Uncharted game, like, you play as Shell from Portal, or like something that looks like ripped from another game. That's not a good excuse to like the new game. That is not the same thing.
I mean, I'm not saying I'm happy with it.
Wasn't trying to target towards you. I was targeting towards anybody who would look at it and feel like they enjoy it just because it reminds them of something from something else that they've already seen from another game. But
yes.
It doesn't fit Pokemon. I don't think it fits at all. And unfortunately, a lot of its design style choices are like just robbed and thrown on the other one, which are like their heads are like celestial. They've got this weird star pattern that you can see in their head.
It has a headdress.
I know, it has a headdress. They got lots of white all over them, mainly color. The only color they got is the purple or red or orange color.
To me, Moon just looks like he was intentionally made for a logo.
Yeah, and actually, I think the logo came first. Because you look at the logo and you look at the sun, and they're both already on the Pokemon, or they are the Pokemon, and you're just like, oh, okay. Yeah, they did the same thing to Yveltal and Xerneas, to be fair. Xerneas didn't really look too much like an X, though. I'm still kind of curious about what they're doing with Zygarde, you know? Like, what's the deal with Zygarde? I don't want to totally change the topic here, but everyone was really expecting some Zygarde stuff to show up in here. And maybe he's still in this game, but as far as we know, we have nothing on Zygarde's perfect form and his other forms, because they are not programmed into any of the new Pokemon games. You can't play as them. So that means Zygarde, there either is going to be a Pokemon Z, which at this rate is very unlikely, or he's going to be in this instead. People for a while actually thought he was going to be the Sun Legendary. I don't know. I don't know what the heck is up with Zygarde. I want to see what you guys think as well down in the comments, but the Moon Legendary, at first glance, I kind of liked it. I thought it was kind of cool, but, I mean, for some of the same reasons why I don't like the Lion one, I didn't really care for this guy. So, I mean, I thought he was just okay. In the trailer, it looks kind of cool. On the box art, it looks really stupid. It's just, like, scrunched in. Like they were trying to make a toy that was too big for its box, and they just crammed it in there. That's what it looks like on the cover. It's really messed up. The Lion one, it looks like bad fan art. I think that's what really... That's probably what I've been feeling from the vibe from it. It looks like terrible fan art. And honestly, if you go to Google and start looking around, or DeviantArt, or Pinterest, or anything, and you look up new Pokemon Sun and Moon Pokemon, they're all fake, but they're fan art. They usually look better than this. Like, this is really disappointing. I don't think any of this looks good. Any of it, really. I mean, like I said, I like the owl, but... is that just me? Kim?
Yeah, I mean, and then there was that bird that they reviewed a long time ago when they really first announced that they were going to be making Sun and Moon.
I could have sworn that thing was a fletchling. Yeah, the thing that you only see in like a frame or two. And
it's not a fletchling.
It looks like a fletchling, but
it's its own Pokemon. But that's the problem. It looks like another Pokemon.
Yeah, it looks dead on fletchling. I'm gonna go back to the new Pokemon page so I can see this again, so you can see what she is talking about here. I'm gonna move this down here just a bit. We can see this is Rowlet. We have Litten, who looks alright, and that abomination. The Magierna, the other Mecha DNC thing that they still haven't really done anything with outside of that movie with Volcanion, who is another Pokemon who we still don't have. Japan might have him. Then there's that that Sun Digimon, and then we've got the Moon Digimon. Anyway, down here is what Kim was actually talking about, the bird thing that looks like a fletchling, like dead on a fletchling. So I don't know what to say about them anymore. I really don't know what to say about him anymore. I mean, I've been looking at this for a while now, and I don't know. I can just shake my head.
You know what? Let's just stick with Rowlet. He makes me happy.
Yep.
I'm sticking with it.
I remember when the new X and Y stuff came out, and honestly, okay, the X and Y stuff came out.
I was excited about that. That stuff looked good.
It did. I was really excited about all of it, really, except Chespin. I kind of picked on him. I was like, he looks kind of stupid. But he looked like a Pokemon. Like, I never had to bring that up. He looked like a Pokemon. As much as I didn't like him, he looked like a Pokemon.
Yeah.
And this is different. This time, I'm looking at the new stuff like, that's not even the same game. Like, gameplay. Yes, I said this before. The gameplay, it looks like it's going to play just like a new Pokemon game that looks really exciting, and I really want to play it. Don't get me wrong. I am complaining purely about the designs of these new Pokemon, except I like the owl. That's it. The owl looks like a Pokemon. The other ones don't. And that's just really disappointing. That's just really disappointing. Tim, do you have any other final thoughts?
No, I'm just really upset right now.
Yeah, me too. Like I said, I was really excited when X and Y came out. I mean, the Legendaries looked really cool. They were really creative how they were trying to implement them into both the games. The starters were really interesting, and they gave us a small handful of other Pokemon that are also going to be in it, and it was really exciting. This, I have higher hopes for the rest of the Pokemon that are going to be showing up in here. But hey, at the very least, we are going to be getting new Pokemon in Sun and Moon. It's not going to be like a weird rehash of a bunch of older stuff where people thought it was going to be like Mega Lugia and Mega Ho-Oh, which would be cool, but I'm kind of more cool with some brand new Pokemon, so I'm definitely up for a lot of cool designs coming in the future. Hopefully, new designs coming in the future, and there's still hope for this Popplio and Litten to be fixed as they evolve, but I don't know.
I'm also curious as to how big this generation will be.
Mm-hmm.
Where Kalos, I think, was the smallest generation we've ever had.
It depends on how... Yeah, introduced, yes. But in terms of how many Pokemon you can catch, no, it was the biggest. So
yeah,
it's kind of... They also had Mega Evolution, too. So I don't know how you count that, because they're not new Pokemon, but they... Because that's what they argued. They said, okay, well, we didn't introduce that many Pokemon, but we introduced a lot of Megas. So that's... Maybe Megas are going to go away in this. I don't know. Maybe that's a Kalos thing.
Megas don't have a Dex number.
They don't, but whatever. They still have to design them and figure out new strategies and stuff like that for these Pokemon. But anyway, that is basically going to be it for our reactions for Sun and Moon. Obviously, we have a lot of questions for you guys. We want to hear what you guys think down in the comments below. Remember to like the videos and subscribe for more, and we will see you on the next stuff we get about Pokemon Sun and Moon. For you.